95.7 The Hog. It's Riggs and Guys Brew Review with that dude, Josh, from SR Perrott.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, hey, Josh. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, I feel like we all could learn more about wine on days like today, since tomorrow is National Wine Day, right?
Exactly. I know nothing about wine.
Really?
So I brought Luke along.
Oh, Luke's here. Luke!
Hey!
Yeah!
Interesting
Luke.
last name, Luke. Luke Along. I like that.
Yeah. It's an alias that he uses for the brew review.
Yes.
Hi, Luke. Last time I saw you, you were in the midst of a bunch of beer, but now we're talking about wine.
Yeah, we had that wonderful beer fest in Norman the other week.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. And tomorrow's going to be a good time because people maybe who either are wine enthusiasts can enjoy the day, or maybe it's your first time. Good time to break in on National Wine Day.
Always a good day to have wine.
That's right.
National Wine Day, certainly got to get out those glasses.
Well, you brought out plenty of wines for us to sample today. Tell us about the selections and what we're going to be doing.
Well, try to get a representation of most of the varietals that we have, and then went from old world to new world.
Okay.
To get a little reflection on the history of wine today. Earliest representations of wine can be seen in the Chinese provinces, and then eventually moved over to Georgia, the country, not the state.
Yeah.
Wow, what a jump.
Because I lived in that place for a while. There's no winos there at all.
But as far as we know, as a modern day wine, the Romans and the Greeks really helped influence where we're at today,
Okay.
and it was the Roman Empire that pushed it up into Europe, and eventually the Catholic Church that really ran with it with the sacramental purposes of having wine.
It's one of those crazy things that doesn't. I mean, I know I'm familiar with it, but it still seems like it doesn't match up. I'm glad somebody pushed that through, right?
Yeah.
Kind of legitimizes wine to a certain extent in those regions.
Well, when they first figured out that grapes sitting around and fermenting develops this wonderful hallucinogenic,
Right.
for lack of a better there for you, it was obviously interpreted as being a religious or out of body experience.
Right.
So it was easy to incorporate into the religions as far as the use of wine and the ceremonies.
Jeez.
So yeah, I know you guys are listening to this right now. You can't see us unless you go to 95.7 Hog on YouTube. I've been doing nothing pretty much but staring at these bottles of wine.
Yeah, you're ready.
Because I love wine, and I am ready for you to take us on this journey.
All right. All right, Luke.
Let's get started here.
Launch this boat. Where are we going first?
We're going to go light to heavy. So we're going to start over here in California with Villa Andretti. That's Mario Andretti's winery.
Really?
Oh, so this is going to be a fast wine.
Oh.
I've heard that.
Not the first time to hear that joke. Okay. Okay,
somebody
Mario.
fire the writer.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. We cue cards.
Mario obviously was born in Italy, so that's a nice little dual piece here that we're going back to Italy with Mario, and that his grandfather had a vineyard when he was a kid. Well, in the backyard, basically.
Right.
And so he made wine. And Mario kind of kept up with it, started making wine, was sharing it with the other drivers. So, as far as fast wine, I think that's actually where he really had his advantage. He was just getting the other drivers drunk before the races.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It's one way to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they eventually convinced him to really get into the business of wine.
So this one you have here is a Sauvignon Blanc.
Correct. And
Did I say it right?
yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
The French like to leave off the C, so
Yeah.
Sauvignon Blanc.
yeah.
See? Yeah, wait till my third glass of wine. That'll get worse.
Yeah, that's right.
So in '96, he bought his vineyard out there in Napa, and has just been growing ever since. So we have his Villa series here
This is great.
with a lovely picture of the winery on the bottle.
I have watched him drive in Indy 500s for as long as I can remember seeing sports on TV, and now I get to have his wine. This is a full circle moment for me.
So what type of flavors are we expecting to taste in here?
I have some melon notes to this, citrus, very typical for a Sauvignon Blanc. Coming from California, it definitely has lighter notes than other regions. Sauvignon Blanc is grown in France and New Zealand, and a little bit in, I believe, in Australia.
And if you're not first, you're last. I think it was Ricky Bobby who said it, but Mario Andretti said it first.
Shake and bake.
So I'm going first right here. Well, that's very nice.
Now, this is more of a dry white wine, would you would say?
Very much so.
I definitely get the citrus
Oh,
part.
that's good.
Yeah.
That is quite good.
What's on the back end there, Luke? There's something different on the back than the front. I like it.
Well, you get notes of pear and citrus there.
Okay.
Melons. Even get light herbal notes coming across
Yeah.
on Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay. I just cut up some cantaloupe yesterday, and I'm having a flashback to that right now. It's good, though. This is much better than the cantaloupe.
I mean, you could still have this for breakfast.
Yeah, well, that's what we're doing literally right now. We're having this for breakfast.
Wine's good anytime.
Yeah, on National Wine Day Eve. This is a great start.
So get out
All right.
lox and bagels.
Now, is that the Andretti, do they have a full line, or is that their specialty?
They actually have multiple tiers, too.
Really?
So this Villa series is the entry series, which is very affordable and definitely tastes great for the price point.
Okay.
But then he's got his Napa series, which is selected from various vineyards within Napa. And then above that is his actual estate series. And to be an estate wine, it actually has to come from the property where the vineyard is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Vineyard and winery is.
So that's where your select
Yes.
your
so if
select
you see
series.
estates on a wine bottle, that is premium.
Okay.
It has to come specifically from that piece of property.
Yeah. Does he own all of that property, or is he?
Yes.
Is that one? Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yes.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, so
I'm
it's the
definitely
real deal
learning
then.
today, then.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I feel like I don't want to wave the checker flag yet. There's lots more to try. All right, one down. Luke, what are we going to next?
We're going to hop over to France.
Oh, okay.
Just get in the plane and let's go.
Let's go. Let's
I've
go.
never had a French wine.
Really, really. And you are. I find you as a an experienced wine enthusiast.
Well,
This is your first one, huh?
Don't they say that grapes grow better in France? Or is that a myth?
Don't ask the Californians that question.
I think you hurt Luke's feelings, but I think he's going to forgive you just this one time.
Oh, I'm a big fan of French wine.
Really?
Big
Okay.
But there was a famous tasting in 1976, and then I believe it was redone 30 or 40 years later.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the French lost to the Californians.
Oh, wow.
Really?
You go.
Thank
You know, it sounds like it's not. You wouldn't think it would be a competition, but this is in that business. That's fierce competition, right? Those
Sure.
tastings.
Everything's about marketing and
Yeah.
and being the number one.
And there's gold medals and ribbons and things. Oh no, this seems a much smoother.
Now, this is actually
Fruity.
a Chardonnay coming from the region of Macon, and it's a city there in, or a village per se, in France. This is in the Bourgogne region. They are known for their Chardonnays. This
Okay.
is definitely a nice, refreshing version of a Chardonnay. In
Yeah.
America, where we tend to abuse our wines and that we overexpose them to oak,
Yeah.
the French really want to represent what the soil
Interesting.
and the environment entails into your wine. So this isn't really getting much exposure to any oak.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
these
getting
are-
any barrel back at all. This and definitely less citrus in the first one too.
Sure.
They're saying to serve this at 10 degrees Celsius, which translates to about 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Correct.
So you definitely want this one chilled.
Yes.
Really. And Luke's got his work cut out for him because this room is about 108 right now. So he's really having to work hard to get these at prime temperature.
Fortunately, we're here in the morning rather than in the afternoon.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. Thank gosh the sun really hasn't risen too much.
It's pretty good with like some fish or chicken or something like that, I'd imagine.
Yes. Chicken, fish, definitely good pairings with this.
General rule of thumb, white wine, white meat, red wine, red meat.
Loosely, yes.
Loosely, okay. I'm trying to sound
another
smart
nice-
here, Luke.
Another nice thing to do is to pair the wines with regional dishes as well.
Oh, nice.
Because, the heritage of winemaking always influenced food in the areas, and so you will see particular foods pair better with the wines that are coming from the regions. For example, beef bourguignon goes well with the.
That's
the
one of
red
my
wines from the
favorite
area.
dishes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I'm glad that you mentioned that because I was about to ask French toast. I make really good French toast. It's probably
Just substitute the milk.
It's not bad.
on a weekend. You might want to try it out.
We actually, the next one, it's coming from Italy, but it's a
really?
Moscato.
Okay.
So that's a little more attuned for your breakfast.
Let's do it. Let's try that. I feel like if this would go good with my
Italiano.
maple syrup and buttered bread, this would be perfect.
So now we're hopping just over the border.
Okay.
We're going over into Italy, the
All right.
Piedmont region, which is in the northwest corner there.
Okay.
This is a
By the way, a helpful map for all of you who are looking to find out where is France, where is Italy, where is Europe, where is the equator. There you go. That'll help you out a little bit. Gives you a little background there. All right. Thank you, Luke. Let's hope for those who are watching at 95.7 Hog on YouTube.
What type of wine is this?
This is a sparkling Moscato.
Oh, okay.
Moscato.
Sparkling.
Moscato d'Ostia of all.
Tell us about the sparkling versus not sparkling.
Well, the sparkling on this is the way that they laid down the bottle for fermentation, and it allowed the gases to be captured in the bottle.
So it kind of carbonates it, a carbonation tiny little bit. Or
Correct, and that's from the...
I'm getting that.
Has a nice sweetness to it.
That's from the...
That is very sweet.
Was created.
Oh, that's really good.
So there's no sugar added. It's just the way it ferments and...
There probably was sugar added.
Okay.
I hope.
Just curious.
Now, I'm not a sweet white wine fan, but this is actually quite tasty.
Yeah.
I am a sweet white wine fan. And the sparkling part is this really appeals. So it is about the way that it ferments then.
Yes.
Okay. Wow.
All right, so we're going to see Riggs walking down Main Street with this bottle.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Put your
Rick's
flip-flops
special
on.
of the day right there. Put a golden star over that one. That's good. Wow.
Yes, that was very good.
And the other fun thing of this, when the sugar is high in a wine, the alcohol tends to be low. So this
Interesting.
one actually is only a 5%.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Some of these reds are going to be 15%, so we're just going to moderate what you're going to have later.
Would it be safe to say the sweeter the wine, the less potent it is?
Generally.
Okay.
There is obvious exceptions.
Okay.
I don't want to insult this wine, but I feel like if you've had a wine cooler before, that's not a big jump as far as flavor goes.
Correct.
Yeah.
And if you're just trying to break into wine, if you're intimidated by it,
Yeah.
definitely this is the way to go.
That is a great doorstep. I like that one a lot. All right. I don't want to play favorites yet. There's more coming, but I'm...
My first
got my eye
wine
on
was
that
a
one.
red wine.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So had I started on white wine,
Yeah.
I don't know where I'd be right now.
Yeah.
Probably on a corner somewhere.
I got an idea.
That didn't come out right.
Yeah, no, it's understandable.
Now, everything you've brought so far has been tasting phenomenal, but I have my eyes set on these next 3 bottles.
Okay.
So do I.
This is getting into the guy zone.
Did you get any fun tasting notes on that?
Okay, yeah. So I was going to ask you. So I'm not getting citrus. I feel like I'm getting banana or something, maybe.
That's not horrible there,
Yeah.
no. But
Got a little bit of
definitely,
peach.
Green apples, anybody?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Or,
Yep.
or tart apples.
Okay.
That is definitely a top flavor coming through on
Really?
this wine.
Okay.
Just a really fun, refreshing wine to sip there.
And I'm a big apple juice and apple cider guy, just in an everyday
I was just
life.
about to say that
Oh,
this
yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
too far if you're able to drink an apple cider beer.
That's
Yeah,
probably why
that's
that's
very
so
nice.
appealing right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right over to wine this way.
That's really good. Wow. Again, a great door. If people are looking for doorsteps and they hear the beers that we do week in and week out, this is a great launching bottle for
I
them.
would definitely recommend this wine.
Yeah.
This could be a guy's wine or a girl's wine.
I bet Mario Andretti likes that wine. Just guessing, but I'm pretty sure he probably does. You know, he's probably a find. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just put Riggs label on that one. All right, so now we get to guys' wines, which are in darker bottles, which look more regal, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's
These are all the reds.
Okay.
What we have left here is a Cabernet from northern France as well. This is Badoli.
okay.
Then we have a Zinfandel from Mario Andretti again.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then we'll skip back over to our surprise bottle from France.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh, there's a surprise at the end of the rainbow. I like this one.
Like I said, I don't know much about wine, but I know I like red wines.
Yeah.
So this is a fun little Cabernet here.
Okay.
And not to start any trade wars or anything like that. The Italians have looser rules on some of their wines.
Yeah.
So this one actually just says Cabernet on the bottle.
Okay.
And where that's a fun little note is, it's actually a blend of Cabernet Franc and Cabernet Sauvignon.
Okay.
But because they just say Cabernet on the bottle, they don't have to really denote that.
They don't have to commit. Wow. Well, that is a very loose. That's a very loose rules.
Yeah. It's all fun and love and war.
The wine rules. Okay. Yeah. So now I feel like we're definitely in the.
Ooh, yeah, here we go.
Yeah, see, it smells awesome.
The grapes have changed. Okay. That's good. Now, I'm still having that sweet on my tongue from that last one,
Yeah,
too.
so-
See, that's right up my alley.
Yeah.
This is quite tasty. I mean, it's a definite change from the last one.
Sure, we probably could have
It
held
was-
off on the Moscato to the end, but yeah, let's run a couple tastes
That's
over
right.
the tongue
Yeah.
there.
That's right.
Kind of let it sink in.
It definitely seems like a more proper grape right there.
So I see here this is 12 to 13% alcohol. So I mean,
Really?
This isn't as. Sometimes when you open up a red, it tastes like a lot like it's. You could taste the alcohol.
Okay.
You can kind of taste it in this one, but it's hidden with the fruitiness a little bit.
Yeah, the Cabernet here definitely is a fuller-bodied wine than the whites that we had before. The whites you're going to typically pair with fish or chicken or even pork in some regards. This red, the Cabernet, definitely is calling for a fatter meat.
Okay.
Per se.
All right.
Definitely see some game with this.
Right.
Other roast.
What cheese would you pair with this?
Oh, whoa.
A sharp cheddar with this one would be real fun.
Take off a little bit of the bitterness.
A little bit, yeah, and just let that. You like the lower sugar, higher acidity coming in the wine to balance with fats, and that's where red wine really gets going with your red meats is that fat that's in the red steaks.
Okay.
They kind of dance on your tongue with the acidity coming forward on the red wine.
Yeah.
right
Okay.
on.
Yeah. That does have a nice punch on the back, too. By the way, that's our first cheese question of the day.
Didn't mean to be cheesy.
No, that's all right.
Didn't.
All right. All right. All right, Luke, I'm sorry you had to hear that. What's next?
Second bad joke of the day.
Well, we got we're back here at Mario Andretti's
Oh, good.
winery.
Okay, good. This
We
is
have the Zinfandel here today. This is a really nice full-bodied red wine here.
All right.
So I thought Zinfandel was only white Zinfandel.
So these I just found out recently are the ones I like.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
White Zinfandel and Zinfandel are the same thing.
Really?
Oh.
Except
Okay.
for white Zinfandel is not aged on the skins. They're just pressed.
Okay.
So it's generally the leftover juice that they don't need to produce Zinfandel with.
Okay.
Really?
So that's what gives red wine its color. It's not because it's a red grape. It's because they leave the skins in there, and it
quite in fact, all grape juice is the same color, no matter what
Really?
the skin color.
Wow. Okay.
It's the exposure to
Wow, I
to the skins that are
really enjoy that smell.
Okay, that's got a whole lot happening right there. This is like a maze of flavor.
You are not being stingy with these pours either, my
I
man.
know. Well, Luke's been here before. He knows.
Wow.
See, I like that because you can kind of taste the barrel.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
That
personal preference.
is a very non-aggressive wine, but you know it's got a little more alcohol than the last one because I'm looking at the legs on my glass here, and the general rule of thumb is the more legs, the more alcohol, right?
Yes,
I don't know
that
if
is
you're
correct.
picking that up.
I didn't draw those on. Those are
Pretty near as high
naturally
as you can
occurring.
get for wine at 14.9%.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
The general rule of thumb is 15% there.
You definitely taste it, but I'll agree. You can definitely. This feels like it might have been sitting around in a barrel for a minute. You know.
I believe it was aged for 6 months.
Oh, nice.
Really? Okay.
That's it?
Not very long comparatively, right?
It was probably a relatively new barrel too,
Yeah.
so that'll entail some more flavors and say
That would
An
be
older barrel.
considered a dry red wine like that because that's
Yeah.
quite dry.
there's some interesting chocolate notes coming across on this one.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm doing wine dinners, I like to pair this with the dessert course, and
Okay.
I like to kind of parlay off of chocolate notes and desserts that we do.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, I like that a lot.
it's a fun surprise. You know, it's better
Yeah.
than just doing the stereotypical champagne
Right.
for dessert.
I want some chocolate-covered
job,
cherries and
Mr.
sorbet
Andretti.
now. Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
I know. Thank God he got out of the race car. He wouldn't have had time to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? Think about it. All right. Is there only... And this is a surprise wine is next?
Well, this is a treat for Guy.
Oh, good. Oh.
Thank you so much.
It's Guy's special of the day.
We have the
High five.
Chateauneuf du Pape from Nova Roma. Nova Roma is the maker there.
So
Okay.
what does that mean?
Chateauneuf du Pape?
Yes.
That actually is a fun French word. Chateauneuf actually stands or means the new castle, and Pape is French for Pope. So this refers to the new castle of the Pope. That region is actually down in southern Rhone, France, which is fairly close to the Italian border. At one time, this area would have actually been under the control of the Catholic Church when that part of France was actually a part of Italy.
Okay.
And it was the new Roman Empire that was being controlled by the church at the time. And as such, there is a region there where, to this day, the Pope still summers. Maybe not so much Francis.
Yeah.
But
Right.
most of the other popes still
Right.
still summer there.
Yeah.
And because of that, and the necessity for wine in Mass, they've produced pretty high quality wines here.
Gee,
For
I
a
would
good
think
period
you
of
would
time.
have to. The standards are kind of high when the Pope is overlooking your stuff. Right?
There was standards in what was being produced by these monks in these monasteries. They
Right.
would have the Pope share, then they would have the King share, then there would be the mercantile share, and finally somewhere down towards the end would be what the monks would drink themselves.
Really?
And it would be what we would consider common wine today. And these higher end bottle of wines that you see would definitely be what would the King share or the Pope share would be.
Okay.
Now, everything we've tasted, you can go to srperrott.com beer finder because you can still find wine under the beer finder, correct? Okay.
Correct. We've got lovely places around town, including Perrine's Produce, that carries many of these wines. Other small boutique. I don't mean to disclude anybody here, but down the road, Wine Me has some.
Yeah.
I don't want to disclude anybody, but definitely go to the website to see where you can pick up some of these great wines.
Good.
Now, I can't wait. You've had this one open since you walked in, and
Yeah, we
you've
just
been
wanted
letting
to
it breathe.
Breathe a little bit. And
Okay.
see it round
I'm
itself
interested in
out.
this. Hey, Mike, you got to get a close up of this bottle.
It's only had Vatican
Guys
City
stopped
air in it
breathing
before.
when he opened it. though.
It's actually, you said it has the seal of the Pope
Yes, correct.
on the actual bottle.
Because of it being shut enough to pop, they have the seal of the Pope. It has the cross keys and the, lack of a better word now, is the crown that the Pope would wear.
Yeah.
You don't see him wearing these too many times these days,
Right.
but definitely some of the old paintings of popes would include the. I wish I had the name for you.
I'll look that up.
I would think if you wanted to impress somebody, this would be a good one to go grab for a dinner party or
Yep.
Certainly.
or gift giving season. National Wine Day. Why don't you give a bottle of this? That'd be a great gift.
Well, I just looked it up, and now I know why he said it's a treat for me.
Yeah. are you looking it up on the beer finder right now and noticing all the details? Okay. Anything now, aside from the things you've already mentioned, what else sets this one apart from the other?
Well, this region typically blends the grapes to come up with the best presentation of the wine. This particular year has 90% Grenache, 5% Mourvedre, and 5% Syrah.
Okay.
In this particular area, it's a warm climate, so the Grenache really does well versus
Oh my gosh!
other grapes that we are more accustomed to.
So those are types of grapes?
Yes, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Okay.
In California, Grenache doesn't do as well as it does in Southern Rhone, France, and vice versa. Cabernet doesn't do quite as well in Southern Rhone,
Okay.
but does do some growth up in Northern Rhone.
It's interesting that you could raise essentially the same grapes, but in different regions and have a completely different flavor, completely different
Correct.
appeal. Yeah.
That's why the Sauvignon Blanc that we had earlier tastes completely different coming from, say, New Zealand as it would coming from California.
Yeah. And when you're shopping, if you go out and you're shopping and you're a layman, a wine layman like me, what would be where would you want to categorize this if you were looking for not categorize it because we said what it is, but where would you put this on a scale of high end, low end wines? Obviously, there's a higher end, right?
This is medium high.
Medium. Okay.
This is outstanding.
Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah, you
I'm
want to drink
enjoying
this
this one.
You want to you want to take your time with this one too. That's right.
yeah,
See,
this
maybe
is not
this is-
one you're going to want to slam. This is definitely a sipper.
Right. And stare into the eyes of the person you just gave a glass to because they owe you. Big time.
I'm
They owe you a debt. Well, I didn't mean Luke
Did
specifically.
it just
but
get
okay, yeah.
awkward?
I just meant, beyond the brew review segment, but sure, we'll dub that in. Wow, that's very tasty, and you can tell there's a difference there.
I could have sworn I just heard the Lion King.
Nice. That's all right.
You're absolutely right. That was a treat.
Yeah, that's
Thank you
delicious.
so much.
Yeah, wow.
That was amazing.
And I did get the chance to go to this area last year, and it is very romantic. It reminds you almost of Italy. And it probably does have a lot to do with the influence of the Roman Empire being there, and then eventually the Catholic Church later on. But you see a lot of Italian cypresses growing in this area. You have the houses that are built much like you see throughout Italy, made out of stone. The vineyards are full of big rocks of quartz and granite.
Really?
And maybe not granite, but definitely quartz. I was just trying to remember my geology there.
Yeah.
But it's just a completely different world than what we.
Does Vatican City or the entire region own their own? Are there proprietary vineyards and things that's all
not
theirs?
so much anymore?
Yeah, really? Okay.
It's all been privatized at this point.
Okay. It's probably best, I would imagine. Plus, they got to distribute that around the world, for crying out loud, to places like SR Perrott.
Correct.
That's right.
Well, that's very tasty. Guy, how you feeling? It's like is it a life-changing moment?
I'm still looking up the Pope's hat.
Right.
It's the one that he wears. That's the one that's on there is called a mitre.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the standard one.
Yeah.
Or the one that is the actual crown is the papal tiara.
Okay.
That's the jeweled 3-tiered crown.
I think that's what's on the bottle there.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it's
Yes.
actually in the glass.
That
Yeah,
was
that's right,
used
yeah.
from 1305 to 1963.
Look at that. Thank you. Guys, historical fun facts. There you go. Sponsored by Kellogg's. No.
if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course, guys got the report. All right, so again, SR Perrott and the Beer Finder is what you can use to find these wines. But again, you want to mention some of the great places again that you can track down any of these that we've tried so far today.
Bryant's Produce in Ormond Beach. We've got the Ormond Outpost also up there in Ormond. Wine Me down here in Daytona are fine retailers. There are other small wine shops throughout Volusia and Flagler counties that you can find these wines at. But certainly don't hold yourself to just these wines. It's a
Right.
fun day to celebrate wine no matter who makes it.
Well, this has been very nice. Thank you, Luke.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for
Luke,
classing
coming
up this joint.
Certainly.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Josh, SR Perrott, we thank all of you as well.
Cheers.
Oh.
Cheers.